What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, we're back here in Copenhagen. We got robe trotting here, about to tell us about this Copenhagen card. If you know, or this is your first time knowing, your boy is getting ready to make that trip to Europe for the first time, be visiting Copenhagen in Denmark and Stockholm in Sweden. So not gonna get to spend too much time in Copenhagen. I think I got 2 full days. I'll be there 2 full days, but I'll be flying into there. But I know I'm not gonna get the full experience. I know somebody was like, "Oh man, that's not enough time." I know, but the way my pockets and my budget is set up, that's all the time I have. But see a 24-hour Copenhagen card here that you can get. Somebody sent me this video, so I'm gonna check it out to see if I can still make the most of that full day. Those are 2 full days being in Copenhagen. So yeah, we got rope trotting here. Y'all make sure to check them out, subscribe to their channel, support them. But let's learn about this Copenhagen card.
Is the Copenhagen card worth it? Yes. Okay, next video. Just kidding, of course. The Copenhagen card is a worthwhile purchase for most tourists that visit Copenhagen, but it really all depends on your interests and your travel style. Is it right for you? Today, I'm going to help you figure it out thanks to our sponsor, Get Your Guide, who has given me the chance to try out the Copenhagen card for myself. The Copenhagen card is a city pass that gives you entry and admission for over 80 attractions and tours in and around the city, along with free public transportation. You can buy them in 24-hour increments, and the adult card comes with 2 free kid cards to cover your children aged 3 to 11. So it can really bring down the cost of your trip if you use it right.
That's not bad.
I'll be trying out a 24-hour Copenhagen card and doing a side-by-side analysis of what I would spend with it compared to the cost of traveling around and seeing the same attractions without the card. But I'll track my time and activity along the way, and I'll be dropping my tips as well.
I know I've seen videos of like things to do type of videos. They will say some of these attractions cost like $20, 10, 15, maybe 20, and that's US dollars, of course, to get in. So it's going to be interesting to see how much this costs.
To break down all the practical information that you should consider before you make a purchase. So let's start with one of those tips right now. You'll get more out of the Copenhagen card if you actually plan your itinerary. Let's see what I did 2 nights ago. Are you ready for a flashback? I'm about to order my Copenhagen card. I'm using Get Your Guide's website for this process, and there's a link in the description of this video where you can actually support our channel and order your Copenhagen card at the same time.
That's not bad price.
There's no extra cost to you, and our channel earns a small commission from Get Your Guide if you do use that link. So we really appreciate anybody who books their Copenhagen.
That would be nice. I'm gonna have to do that then for them. I'm just gonna have to do it. $67. That's not bad. I mean, plus tax. Oh, they got a 48-hour one as well.
These that way. Again, we'll have those links in the description of the video and then pinned in a comment underneath. I've also, as a advanced thank you, created a free guide with navigation map and linked that into the description and the comments as well. So you can use that map and hopefully also support our channel with the Copenhagen card link. At the time of this video, a 24-hour Copenhagen card is $67.30. A 48-hour card is $99, and then every 24 hours it goes up about $20 per day. Now, if you're like me, you also want to make sure that it's the same price as listed on the Copenhagen Card's official site and app, and it is. We would never recommend something that will cost you more money. So as you can see, it's pretty easy. I'm ordering here, and just got a confirmation on my phone. Now, Get Your Guide, by the way, has offers in over 60,000 different experiences in more than 3,600 destinations around the world.
Check them out.
We've used them for years, and we really trust them. Their app makes it super easy to keep track of your tickets because who travels with a printer? And it's no stress because you're backed by their 24-hour support. You get instant confirmation like I just did, and a policy of cancellation up to 24 hours before your activity. So here in Copenhagen, where the weather is a bit unpredictable, but you also need to have reservations for most things that you do, that feature especially comes in handy. So now the email that I received, it has my voucher information and my booking information. Instant booking, again, makes this super convenient. And they've even given me a link so that I can download the Copenhagen Card app. And that's another great tip, y'all. The Copenhagen Card app makes it really easy to use your Copenhagen card. I can basically see all the attractions that are included in the card in either a list format or an interactive map, and I can also save my favorite. So I picked the Copenhagen Card Discover. It's the full card where you get more attractions and access to public transportation included in the Copenhagen card. You actually get Danish zones 1 through 99 of transportation, so that covers all of Copenhagen, the suburbs, and most of Northeast Zealand, the island that Copenhagen is on. Now, I'm not planning on leaving the city center because I only have a 24-hour card. But if I was doing a 72 or probably even a 48-hour card, I would work in a trip to Helsingør, where Kronborg Castle or
somebody mentioned
Castle
that place
is located, or maybe to Roskilde, so I could see the cathedral and the Viking ship museum there, or maybe a trip to Frederiksborg Castle in Hellerup. So I would probably work in some kind of day trip as well. But again, I'm only mapping out a 24-hour itinerary, so I'm sticking to the city center of Copenhagen.
See, if I get a 48-hour, that'll probably give me the opportunity to go at least to maybe one or two of those places outside of the city center. I know for sure I'm gonna go around the city center, but somebody mentioned like two of those places he just named in my comments. I've seen it before,
and I'm aiming to do a few of my absolute favorite activities, the things that I do every time somebody visits us, and I'm going to try to work in a few that I haven't experienced before to keep it fresh for me. So my plan is to begin late afternoon so that I have the next morning to see more, and I'll have the energy of two full calendar days. Your 24 hours is truly 24 hours, so I'm going to take advantage of that. And my first afternoon and evening, I plan to do a canal tour, visit the National Museum, climb the Church of Our Savior, and hopefully do that around golden hour. And then I'm going to tour Cashapp Palace, including the underground ruins there.
That's a good amount of stuff.
Around, depending on what I feel.
I'm not going to lie. That's a good amount of things to do just in 24 hours. Wow, that's a very eventful day. That would be a tiring day.
Tour Cashapp Palace, including the underground ruins there. I may change the order around depending on what I feel that day, but that's my plan for day one. But then the next morning, I'm going to climb the Round Tower, see the crown jewels at Rosenborg Castle, and I'm hoping that I can fit in the Design Museum of Copenhagen and maybe the Medical Museum because they're nearby each other. It's really just going to depend on time. But here's a huge hack. I have to make it to Tivoli Gardens before my 24-hour Copenhagen card hits that 24-hour mark. As long as I make it before I run out of time, I'll be able to get entry into Tivoli and enjoy Tivoli for the remainder of my second day. Wish me luck.
Dang. That means he gonna have to be on the move. I could just imagine. He gonna have to.
My Copenhagen card is activated. I'm ready to go be a tourist in my own hometown. I'm gonna get on the metro here and head over to Cashapp Palace. And it's such a beautiful day. I'm gonna definitely do the canal tour behind me in a little bit. But right now, I'm gonna head to Cashapp Palace over here and see what I can do inside. Entering Cashapp Palace, I got to tuck away my bags so that I could start exploring. The ticket included entry to the royal reception rooms, as well as the Great Hall with tapestries, the royal stables and kitchen, and the palace chapel, as well as the ruins underneath the palace. So cool. Today, the palace is used by the Queen for official events. It's no longer a royal residence because in 1794, a fire forced the Danish king to relocate to the Amalienborg Palace, which is pretty close to Cashapp. Today, Cashapp is the seat of the Danish government. It's home to the parliament and other government offices, and most of the palace is open to the public. I definitely recommend touring these historical rooms and artifacts of the royal family.
That is nice.
There have been various castles and strongholds built on this island that it sits on for over 800 years. So I also got to explore the ruins that are below of all the castles that existed before the current palace. It's a really cool experience, and I definitely recommend stopping by Cashapp Palace. Okay, just leaving Cashapp Palace, I spent about 90 minutes inside. The combined ticket for that is 175 kroner, or $26 US. I spent about 90 minutes. You could easily spend more, maybe 2 or 3 hours even. But for me, I wanted to maximize the Copenhagen card, and I'm going to go to the National Museum now.
Wow. That's pretty lit. They lit. That's lit. That's lit. I wouldn't mind doing that. 90 minutes, that's not too bad.
I wanted to give you one more tip. So you see this yellow building behind me, the Thorvaldsens Museum? It's located right next to Cashapp Palace, and it's got, first tip, a lovely reflecting pool in front. A lot of people will come here and take selfies. It's a great photo spot.
Nice.
So try to stop here because you don't necessarily see it as you're walking by. The other thing about the museum itself is that it contains a lot of famous Danish sculpture inside. It is 95 kroner, so of course I'd be able to go for free with a Copenhagen card, but I can also go for free on Tuesdays. So if that can fit into your schedule outside of the time that you have the Copenhagen card, you can always go to the Sculpture Museum for free on Tuesday. The National Museum is Denmark's largest museum of cultural history and contains all kinds of artifacts and cultural pieces from every stage of Danish history and prehistory. There are Renaissance paintings, Egyptian mummies, and the famous golden horns and runestones from Denmark's Viking history. It contains artifacts from Danish colonies and even has a modern cultural exhibit, which will help you to understand the country you're visiting from a cultural perspective. I am wrapping up my time at the National Museum. Now, I spent about 2 hours inside. I easily could have spent longer. I'm just a history nerd, so for me, I could have probably been in there all day, and I think I've been a little bit inspired to get a annual pass, so I'll probably be doing that. But for the time being, I'm going to move on and try to get on a canal tour for the next part of my day. The National Museum is 72 kroner, or about $10 US, so that's just an update on what I've spent or saved so far.
Okay. It seems like this card is worth it if you're really going to visit all these places and, do a nice little tour. Okay, not staying too long,
The canal boat tour, it's the classic canal boat tour by Skloma. There are 2 canal boat options when you get your Copenhagen card. This is the one that I think is a little bit better, and it's the one that I will always go no matter how many times I've gone before. Every time we have a guest that wants to do a canal boat tour, I always recommend it, and I always join. That's why we're going today. Let's go. It won't take you long to see why a canal boat ride in Copenhagen is among the top booked attractions on Get Your Guide. Copenhagen Harbor is the heart of the city. The canals that run through it are simply gorgeous, and they played an important role in the growth and design of the city. I won't give anything away, but this 1-hour tour offers a perfect overview of the city and its history from an entertaining live guide. You can bring food or beverages on board from the dockside bar, or if you want my local recommendation, head to Kayak Bar after you finish your canal tour. You'll even see it on the way, and there you can have a bite to eat or a drink at this floating oasis along Holman's Canal. You can find it on the map in the itinerary and guide that I have linked in the video description below. Okay, the canal boat is finished. That was 109 kroner, or $16. So I can already see that this is
definitely getting his money worth
to the cost of the Copenhagen card, and I've still got a lot more time left. What I want to do now, though, is go and see the city from a different view. I've already seen it from below on the water. I think I want to see it up high and head to a tower.
Not the tower. Yeah, that it is starting to add up, and that's just 3 things. So just imagine this 4th thing might end up being that.
The Spiral Church is a Renaissance church in Copenhagen and one of Denmark's most famous churches. It's absolutely iconic when you consider the fact that visitors can climb 400 steps to the very top of the spire.
400.
And I don't mean a lookout tower. I mean you can literally walk along an exterior staircase that circles the spire from the outside. The views from the top of the spire are stunning because the church is in the Christianshavn neighborhood, making it relatively unobstructed with plenty to look at on the other side of the harbor. It's free to enter the church itself, but if you're not afraid of heights, I highly recommend climbing your way to the very top of the spire. And if you can time it just right to be up there for golden hour like I did, well, there really were no words I could come up with to describe it.
That is high.
The word priceless comes to mind, but I am at the top of the Church of Our Savior, and this experience is 69 kroner in value, or about $10 US, so we're going to add that to the tab and head back down. I descended the Spiral Church around 8 p.m. and headed to Tivoli Food Hall by Metro. I was ready to eat and then relax for the next day after 6 hours of touring. While the sun began to set over Copenhagen, I tallied up my spend. I managed to visit a historical castle, the National Museum, enjoy a canal tour, and climb the Spiral Church. These attractions would have cost me 425 Danish crowns. I also took 2 single-zone metro rides, which are 24 crowns each. So in total, I spent 473 crowns, or a little over $69 on today's attractions and transportation. Not a bad start.
At all.
Okay, y'all, you saw my rather boring breakfast, but if you want somewhere a little more exciting and in the city center before you go do your touring, I highly suggest the Midwest Diner here over my shoulder on the other side of the fountain here at Kulturvet. It's a wonderful place, great staff, including the owner, Sam, and just a great American-style breakfast. I also have to let you know that I got stopped on the S-Tow on the train for my transportation pass. Luckily, with the Copenhagen card, I had it. But here's what you do if that happens to you. I got stopped on the Metro yesterday and on the local train today. Now, there's no turnstile to go through, so you just get on the train. They trust that you have a ticket or another form of valid public transportation pass. In this case of the Copenhagen card, what I had to do right here is open the Copenhagen card, click on transportation pass, and it pulled up the QR code that they could scan. Make sure you do that, and you know how to do it when you're using the Copenhagen card. Now let's go to the round tower.
That's nice. Man, that's pretty nice. So pretty much his day one was already the price of the Copenhagen card. He still got 4 more attractions.
By King Christian IV. It's the oldest functioning observatory in Europe, and it's accessed by a spiral
I
ramp.
remember this.
The observatory is encircled by an outdoor viewing platform that offers magnificent views of the oldest part of Copenhagen's inner city. You can also view a 17th century toilet on the way up, as well as lofts of the attached church and an art exhibit. I was told that King Christian IV wanted to ride his horse up the tower, and that's why it's designed as a spiral ramp. But no matter what the reason is, it's a really cool attraction that I highly recommend visiting, and I loved starting my day the way that I ended the one before, with a scenic view of the city from above.
Nice.
So another great view. This one was 40 kroner, or about $6 US, but now I'm going to head down to Rosenborg Palace and go see the crown jewels.
Rosenborg Palace. I remember seeing that attraction on one of the other videos, so that's pretty cool. And he's doing this all in the city center.
Fourth as a summer house surrounded by an immaculate private gardens. It's one of the best preserved Renaissance castles anywhere in the world, and some of the rooms in the castle are almost exactly as they were when the castle was first built in 1606. Today, the castle serves as a museum of Danish royal artifacts and 400 years of royal treasures.
Ooh.
As you'd imagine, they're stored in the National Treasury. Most notably, you can view the crown jewels and royal regalia, unless, of course, Her Majesty Queen Margrethe II is wearing some of them at the moment. Okay, I just left Rosenborg Palace. The entry was 130 kroner, or $19 US. And I think I have just enough time to go to one more stop. I have to axe one of the museums, so I'm going to go to the Danish Design Museum. But speaking of time, if you have the time to spend a leisurely day, I'm in the King's Garden right now outside of Rosenborg. It's one of the most visited parks in all of Denmark. A great place to just have a picnic lunch. And there's a restaurant called Restaurant Garden across the street, across Galteskal. And you can go there, and they sell takeaway picnic baskets. So you can go there and have a lovely day here. That's a great tip if you want to just have a nice leisurely lunch with a bottle of wine or even without, and kind of do something like a local while you're in Copenhagen.
That would be nice. Real nice. Look at this. Oh.
Design Museum Denmark was even cooler to visit than I expected. It has loads of displayed decor, art, and industrial designs from the Western world and Asia.
I don't know if I've seen this before. The exhibits range in dates
from the late Middle Ages up to the present, so you can imagine it covers a wide range of design. As you may also expect, there was a major focus on acclaimed Danish designers, specifically around furniture and lighting design. I even saw my dining room lamp on display, but I can never remember if it's from Paul Henningsen or Anna Jacobsen. Either way, the museum is a great way to understand and appreciate Danish design and architecture, especially as you're being exposed to it while you're visiting Denmark. Okay, I'm on the metro heading to Tivoli. The Danish Museum of Design was great. That was 130 kroner, or $19 US, and I should have just enough time to make it to Tivoli before my 24 hours is through. Now that I know I'll make it to Tivoli Gardens, let's track my spending so far. On my second calendar day, today, I visited the Round Tower, Rosenborg Castle, the Design Museum of Denmark, and I entered Tivoli Gardens. Now, entry to Tivoli Gardens is 155 Danish crowns, or $22.50 US. That's 455 crowns total spend, or $67. So I had 2 more single-zone transportation fares for another 48 crowns, making that total 503 crowns, or $74 US. This brings my 2-day spend to 976 crowns, or 143 US, meaning I saved $67.30. That's like magic, or exactly where I'm standing right now, magical Tivoli Gardens. It opened in 1843, making it the second oldest amusement park in the world, and it's visited by over 4 million people every year. They have 3 distinct seasons: summer season, like right now, Halloween, and Christmas. It closes for redecoration between each season, so make sure you check their calendar as you plan your visit to Copenhagen. Also make sure to ride the Mountain, Tivoli's oldest roller coaster from 1914. It's one of the oldest still operating wooden roller coasters in the world, and an employee rides each train with a handbrake. The Pantomime Theater dates back to 1844 and is the only historically protected building in Tivoli. I'm always impressed by the simple fact that there's an amusement park in the middle of the city, and you can really feel the innovative way that the park is designed to maximize space and traffic flow. And as a tip, avoid the crowds and plan your visit on a weekday when the park opens at 11 a.m. or after dinner hours. That's where you're going to find fewer people than normal. Most visitors spend about 4 hours at Tivoli, and remember, you can leave and re-enter for free. I recommend downloading the Tivoli app where you can see the full agenda for the day that you visit. My personal favorite is the nightly illumination shows, which take place on the lake right behind me. Fun fact, the lake itself is a remnant of Copenhagen's defensive moat. Nowadays, Denmark is not a defensive footing, but it is a very digital country, as you can probably tell from the fact that I've told you in this video alone to download multiple apps. I've mentioned the Tivoli app, the Copenhagen Card app, and of course the Get Your Guide app. And I can also recommend a few other apps. One I can think of will save you 33% on Michelin-rated restaurants all across Copenhagen.
Oh,
and
nice.
I've got one where you can check out how long the line is at security in Copenhagen Airport. But to get those must-have travel apps and even more, you're going to have to click right here and watch this video next. I promise it'll be worth your time.
I gotta watch
and
that one too.
Probably even save you some money along the way. Thanks for learning about the Copenhagen Card, and thanks in advance for booking through our link and enjoying the free guide with today's 24-hour Copenhagen Card itinerary that's linked in the description below. Hi.
Hi. No, this was good. I think that would be beneficial, especially with somebody like me just on a time schedule, visiting and trying to see as much as I can. I think that wouldn't be bad. You pretty much saving, it's almost like half off. If you think about how much you've went to see, and I'll go see that amount, basically you're getting the deal half off, 50% off type of thing. But no, that was good. I'm definitely going to be looking into that. I'm going to look into that, see if there's something that I want to do. Like I said, I know I'll have 2 full days, and then I'll be leaving that morning, I believe. I have to look back at my ticket to see, but no, that's good. That's real good. No, I'm gonna check it out, look into it, because I think this will be something I'll do. Just knowing that I don't have to wait in line, or if I didn't plan properly or wanted to visit something else instead, I can do that, just because it has 80 attractions on there that you can get into with this card as well. So, and transportation on top of that. So that's always a plus. And he was able to split his 24 hours into 2 days, which I wouldn't mind doing. Trying to see 8 things in a day would be crazy. But no, I enjoy this. Appreciate Rope Trotting again for this. Thank y'all for sending me this video, because now I'm about to go look into this. I already got the Omeo app for my transportation when it comes to getting from Copenhagen to Stockholm and stuff like that. So appreciate you guys. That time is coming fast. So just preparing myself. But that's all I have. Hit that subscribe button. Y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.